Okay, what I'm using today is 20 gauge silver plated wire, and I've got a 10 millimeter bead, and the length of the wire depends on the size of your bead. When I wrap this ring, it's a much larger bead, as you can see, so I had to pull off about 20 inches with this ring. So with this smaller bead, I'm just going to pull off about 12 inches of wire. And I don't measure. I've been doing this for so long. And there's the wire. You'll also need a ring mandle, which shows the size of ring, and you actually build your ring on this. You'll need your needle nose pliers and your wire snips and your rubber mallet, a rubber mallet. Okay, to begin, you take your wire and you thread your bead on it, and you center it in the center of the wire, which is right here, and you make a little crimp at each side of the bead to kind of hold it in place. And this is what it looks like. And whatever size ring you want to make, you always build it on the size bigger than you want. You take the right side and you wrap it underneath, and you bring it around and you wrap it over once. Actually, it's twice. And then this is easier for me to do it this way because I'm right-handed. You do the same to the other side. You wrap it once and twice. So you have 3 wires on each side. Actually, there's 2 wires on each side plus your center wire. So there's 5 wraps altogether. So then you place your mantle down and you pull them as tight as you can, and then you start wrapping. And what you do, after you've pulled it as tight as you can, you wrap both, you take both sides and you wrap in the opposite directions. And as you're wrapping, when you come to the other wire that's wrapped, you go on top of that. So you do this and you wrap. It depends on what you like. I like to put at least 4 wraps on a bead this size. So that's twice. That's 3. And I think 1 more will do it. And you push them down, and this is what it looks like. And then you just slip it off. And so far, this is what the ring looks like. It's not finished, but after, if you want to wrap more after you take it off, it's fine. But when you're finished wrapping the bead, you take one of the ends and you want to wrap it towards the front. Go through all the rings at the bottom and pull as tight as you can. And this is when I use the needle nose pliers. And I like to put a wrap at least 4 on both sides. So you go through the ring again, you pull it tight, then you wrap it 1 more, that's 3, 1 more, and that's 4. Okay, now I snip mine at the very top, And I'll smooth that out in just a minute. I'm going to do the other side first. So then, go to the other side. You make sure that the wrap hasn't come off the bead. And you go through the ring on this side. And you want to get that as tight as you can. And you want to get them as snug, the loops together as I'll show you in just a second how I do that. Now don't worry about these because you're going to straighten these out in just a minute. You just want to get this wire wrap. That's 3. Got one more wrap. Okay. Then you snip this. Okay, now to smooth out the edges, because you don't want, of course, your finger to get poked with wire, you take your needle nose pliers and you press it down, and then you pinch and roll. Just pinch and roll gently, and it's smooth. It's really smooth when you do that. Do that again on the other side. Pinch and roll. Till all the sharpness is gone. Okay, now see the little edges here? You want to make sure that they're really pinched together tight, close together. Looks prettier and neat. You do that to both sides. Okay. And then on the sides of the beads, if there's any gaps, I'm going to press them together. And I do that very gently. You don't want to mar your ring. Okay, then you're going to slip it back on the mandel. And what you do now is you tap it down the mantle. Until you get to your desired size. You make sure your band is lined up straight, and then you just tap it up so it's together very good. And then you slip it off, turn it over. You do the same on the other side. And there is your ring. I don't think it'll fit my fat finger, but well, yeah. So there is your wire wrapped ring. And I hope you enjoyed watching the demonstration. Thank you very much.